I constantly get asked how to make video captions actually move with your content to keep them alive. The goal is to achieve this dynamic look without spending forever keyframing everything inside Premiere Pro. Today, I'm showing you 2 super easy workflows that will get this job done remarkably fast. One method is a no keyframe follow-along caption trick that you can apply almost instantly. The second approach is a bit more polished, involving converting captions to text layers and reusing an animation preset. I will also demonstrate how a tool like Vizard can speed up both of these processes for you. This isn't a pushy ad, it's because this software truly solves the annoying parts of turning long videos into short, shareable clips. First up, let's dive into the follow-along color trick. This technique is magic when you just want a quick, readable effect that highlights words as the speaker says them. Crucially, this method requires absolutely 0 animation keyframes to work. The only prerequisite you have is having captions ready, either from an automatic transcription or an SRT file. The core concept is straightforward. Cut the caption track precisely at every word break. Next, you simply change the color of each new segment so the highlighted color moves along with the speech. Here's the exact workflow to follow. Open up your main caption track and select a highlight color for the very first word. I personally prefer a pale green because it looks professional and isn't too distracting for the viewer. Make sure to copy that exact color code so you can reuse it perfectly throughout the entire video. Now, create a cut precisely where the next word begins in the audio. Paste your copied color into that new, short caption segment immediately after the cut. You just need to repeat this simple process across every single word in your narration. While it sounds monotonous, this method is surprisingly fast and incredibly precise. Since you are only editing the caption clips themselves, you completely bypass manipulating any text layers or keyframes. After applying it everywhere, scrub through the entire clip to see the highlighting in action. You will almost certainly want to slightly nudge a few of those cuts by just 1 or 2 frames. Those tiny timing adjustments make the highlight feel significantly more natural to the human eye. If an adjustment is needed, the rolling edit tool is perfect for shifting segment endpoints backward or forward. The final result is a subtle, highly readable effect that naturally directs the viewer's focus to the spoken words. Now, let's talk about how Vizard steps in to streamline this entire process. Vizard's AI is specifically designed to automatically find those high-impact moments within your long-form video. It can then export those moments as complete, ready-to-post clips, including the captions already attached. Instead of you spending hours manually scrubbing long footage to find quotable sentences, Vizard surfaces them instantly. You take those surfaced clips, export the captions as an SRT, and then implement the color highlight trick in your editor within minutes. For creators sitting on a huge backlog of long interviews, Vizard essentially hands you the best parts worth polishing. All right, let's move on to the second style, the professional pop-in, scale-up text animation. This style looks much cleaner and more professional because you are animating actual text layers, not just subtitle blocks. This gives you total control over scale, rotation, opacity, easing, and every other possible parameter. The challenge is that standard caption tracks aren't inherently animatable like dedicated text layers are. Therefore, the crucial first step is converting those captions into fully editable text layers. Fortunately, there is an extremely fast copy-paste shortcut to handle this tedious conversion. First, create a standard text layer and copy the text content from the first caption segment. Paste that copied text directly into your new editable text layer. This successfully pulls over the words and preserves most of the basic styling you already applied. Now, position and perfectly center align this first text layer so all subsequent layers match automatically. Extend the duration of this text layer to cover the entire time span of its corresponding caption block. Then, make precise cuts on your text layer at every single point where the original caption segment ended. For each new cut segment, go back to your caption panel and paste the next piece of text into the layer below it. Continue this repeating pattern until every original caption block has been converted into its own discrete text layer. With all the text layered and cut, we can finally move on to the actual animation part. The most critical step many editors miss is correctly moving the text layer's anchor point to the center of the actual words. Select the layer, open your motion controls, and drag that small crosshair icon directly over the text center mass. Doing this ensures that when it scales up, it originates from the text itself, not some awkward point off screen. Next, set up 2 simple scale keyframes to create that satisfying pop-in effect. Move forward about 5 or 6 frames from the start and set your normal scale keyframe, which is 100%. Then, go back to the absolute beginning of that specific clip segment and set the scale value to 0. This configuration instantly generates that snappy pop-in motion you are looking for. Avoid leaving the interpolation as linear. Right-click that second keyframe and select Easy Ease In for smoothness. For an even more refined result, open the graph editor and gently pull the curve handle slightly to the left. That small change softens the entry and makes the entire motion feel significantly less rigid and robotic. Once you nail this perfect animation on one segment, you never have to manually repeat these steps for every caption. The next step is to save this entire setup as a reusable animation preset for later use. In Premiere, right-click the entire Motion tab within the Effect Controls panel and choose Save Preset. You must decide whether to anchor the preset to the in point or the end point for consistent timing behavior. I highly recommend anchoring to the in point so the animation duration stays consistent regardless of the text length. Give it a simple, memorable name like Scale Pop and finalize the save action. Now, simply select all of your remaining unanimated text layers in the timeline. Drag your newly created Scale Pop preset directly onto that entire selection of text layers. Boom. Every single caption chunk instantly receives that smooth, professionally polished pop animation. You always retain this power to go back and emphasize crucial phrases by tweaking them individually. For instance, split a key phrase into 3 separate layers, make them bigger, and reapply the preset for extra impact. Now, let's take a moment to compare these powerful workflows against other industry tools. Premiere is incredibly powerful, but it was simply not built for efficient batch content repurposing. Trying to find 20 short clips from an hour-long interview with custom animated captions is a huge time sink there. Other transcription-focused editors like Descript try to bridge this gap, but they can become quite expensive quickly. Furthermore, their editing often feels more geared toward transcription cleanup than final, polished clip delivery. Many other tools available simply take too much time or offer very limited customization options for your branding. This is precisely the gap where a dedicated tool like Vizard truly begins to shine. Vizard isn't trying to completely replace Premiere for your heavy-duty projects, of course. However, for any creator needing to scale their content output across multiple social platforms, it saves an unbelievable amount of time. Its built-in AI identifies the most viral-worthy segments from your long videos and packages them into shareable clips automatically. It exports these clips with captions already embedded or as clean files, so you avoid all the manual chopping. If you love the pop-in look, you export the captions and quickly run the text layer preset workflow we just covered. Even better, Vizard's auto-schedule feature posts those clips out on a cadence that you define yourself. The content calendar then gives you one central hub to manage, edit, and approve all those scheduled social posts. Essentially, you use Vizard to generate the source clips, then quickly add your stylistic flourishes where they matter most. Here is one final professional tip. Try not to over-animate every single word you use. Most viewers connect better when the motion clearly emphasizes only the most important words spoken. For general narration, keep the base captions readable and use the follow-along color trick for speed. Reserve the more stylized pop-in scale effect for punchlines, main calls to action, or moments with genuine energy. If your channel focuses heavily on high volume, like daily news or tips, lean into Vizard's auto-edit and scheduling features. This prevents creator burnout by ensuring you can maintain a steady, consistent output schedule. So, that wraps up the 2-part breakdown for dynamic caption animation. We covered the quick follow-along color highlight done directly on the caption track with 0 keyframes, and the cleaner, scaled pop-in animation achieved by converting captions into text layers and reusing presets. Remember to leverage Vizard to automatically extract the best moments, export the necessary files, and even manage publishing. This combination effectively shrinks your caption workflow from hours of tedious work down to mere minutes. I genuinely hope editors eventually offer a one-click function to convert caption tracks to animatable text layers. Until that day arrives, this combination of manual tricks plus Vizard will significantly ease your editing load. If this was helpful, go try it out right now on one of your older, longer videos. Let Vizard surface the highlights, export the files, and then choose between the fast color follow-along or the polished preset pop. If you post primarily to a specific platform, comment below with its name so I can share an optimized aspect ratio layout. My personal goal, much like Vizard's mission, is to make high-quality video marketing manageable for everyone. If any part of the preset export or import process seemed unclear, please ask for a step-by-step walkthrough below. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive, and I wish you the best in your future editing endeavors.